3HL 104.5, The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, broadcasting live from Radio Row. Our coverage brought to you by Low T Center and Rude, who is proud to partner locally with MCH Nashville, one of the most beloved Titans, though you only played there for 2 years.
Right.
I tell people this all the time. It's an amazing story. But, man, Titans fans still love you, bro. Lorenzo Neal joins us now. Low Daddy, what's up?
You got it, man. It's you're loved because of one play, and I love it. You know what? Give me another play. I wish I had 2 of those, man. I'd run for mayor. I need one more play like that, and I'd be the mayor of Nashville.
My favorite part of that story is you telling Frankie prior to the kickoff, hey, man, they're kicking it to me. I'm telling you, and I'm going to give you the ball as fast as I can. And that's what happened.
It's crazy. It was. It's like slow motion, watching it happen, reliving it. I know they had celebrated the 25th year the other day. And just like being a part of it, just being on the sideline, it was almost like slow motion. I remember Fisher calls us all over, and we're, hey, home run throwback, we're doing it. And everyone's like, because we had like 3 guys. I mean, Dyson was the 4th guy that was going to be the one that's going to be able to get in the game. So Mason was cramping up, and I always tell him he was scared, so he didn't go in the game. So when you guys talk to D. May, say, Lowe said that you were afraid to get in the game. You didn't want to get in. And also say, Lowe say someone called you the bootleg preacher, and he'll just fall out laughing. You don't even got to say. So make sure you say, hey. Someone said, hey, bootleg called you the bootleg preacher, and he's going to say, y'all been talking to Lowe. So he's going to know right away. But, yeah, amazing play. It's freaking awesome. And the memories just it seems like yesterday, that play.
From your vantage point, you give the ball to Frankie. Frankie makes the throw. Dice has said what you said, like he was trying to remember what the play was because he wasn't supposed to be out there.
Right.
And so he said at some point you just become an athlete and do your job. But from your vantage point, could you tell how close that throw was to being backward? Because Dice said he didn't even think about it.
No, it was all I know. After I just took off running, I knew Frank. I didn't even look. If you watch the play really closely.
You weren't looking?
I didn't even look because of the fact I trusted Frank. Football's about trust, trusting that the other guy, your partner, is going to do what he's going to be in the place he needs to be. So I catch the ball, and I take off running, and I just throw the ball back, and Frank's right there to get it. I engaged in a block.
Okay.
So the guy was coming to tackle. I ended up blocking on the play, so I'm engaged in the block. So I don't get to see the throw. I wasn't watching the throw. So I blocked, I think, 2 guys on that play, and then I just hear the crowd go just getting louder and louder and louder, and it was just amazing. And watching that place just erupt, I mean, it was like 20, 30 minutes. When they come out of the stadium, the place was still rocking.
Yeah. So they review the play. It feels like it was like 25 minutes. It was only like a minute and a half.
Right. It did.
What were you thinking while the play was being reviewed?
You just kept asking, was it forward? Was it? You just kept looking. That's what guys do anytime a play's under review. Yeah. What'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think? And most of the people are like, it's too close to call. Oh, well, you can't overturn it because they made the call. I don't know if they would have called a lateral.
They wouldn't have overturned it.
I don't think they would have overturned it.
And that would have been a completely different memory story.
Exactly, because it's one of those plays that you see on the 4th down when they say, hey, we call it on the field, and then we look at it, and you're like, and on the TV, it's like, you could or could not. Yeah. It's just you can't reverse it. Yeah. So, don't know.
And it was so freaky on the Music City Miracle because Frank's body was going one way and Dyson's body was going the other way. So it's like a visual Olympics thing.
But I guess they do I don't know, what's the show that they do where they –
Yes. What's his name?
Yeah, it's Sports Science.
Sports Science, yeah.
Man, why don't they give you the raise? I mean, you're over here interjecting. Sports Science.
Please don't do this to him.
Don't do that. Oh, that's too soon? Too soon?
Yeah, need to be bumped up low.
I saw her head. She grabs her head like, oh, God. I see both you guys. You're like, Kirby? Kirby, you the man, baby. Turn his mic on. What are you guys doing over here? Not letting Kirby.
Here we go.
Kirby, how'd you know that? Sports Science. What's going on, Kirby?
I just absorb stuff.
He just absorbs. Look at this guy. He's absorbed. He's this sponge. How could you guys do this to Kirby? How could you guys do this?
Put him in the background. Put him in the forefront. There you go.
Low dog, you're killing
I can tell. No, but Sports Science. They showed it. You've probably seen it. And it was, said it was really lateral. It wasn't a lateral. They said it was legal.
How much fun was that locker room that day?
Oh, my God. I think that night I went out to, I forget the steakhouse I went to. My bill was like, I think it was, because I had family in town, it was like $1,000. How about they gave it to me? How about they said, it's on me tonight? Dude, I'm serious. It was that.
Dude, and we're talking 25 years ago. $1,000
because there was like 10 people. We went to a little steakhouse. I mean, the town was rock. Dude, that play. If you think about that play, that time, that was a brand new stadium.
Yep, first year.
We didn't lose a game.
Nope.
Not one game in that stadium. It's just been built. You don't lose a game. You're in the playoffs. 16 seconds left. You're about to lose your first game. You're in the playoffs, and it's all of a sudden this happens. Dude. I felt like I could walk on water.
High fives and hugs everywhere, baby.
You know, honestly, though, now 25 years later, you could probably walk into a steakhouse and do the same thing, and they would probably give you that meal. I'm telling you, it's so iconic.
Low Daddy with us, Lorenzo Neal, Believe Sports Network. Before we talk about anything else, my favorite story that Blaine tells about you is when you were with Cincinnati. And Randall Goffrey, you saw on tape, go flying into, and you called Blaine and said, tell him not to do that. Will you tell that story?
Oh, this is a great story.
Oh, yeah. So Blaine and I, we're dogs, man. I mean, that's my bestie. We always chat it up. We still do it. And I was disappointed to leave the Titans. I mean, dude, we went 2 years, 2 great years.
Two incredible
teams. And in the year after the Music City Miracle, we were playing in the AFC second round. We know it's Baltimore and us.
Yep.
Jeff says the winner of this game is going to win the Super Bowl. We knew whoever wins that game was going to win the Super Bowl. That's what we knew. That game, that's how close and competitive it was. And we were a little bit better. We thought we were going to win that game. And that's a game, you look at it, a guy, one of the best field goal kickers in the league at the time, who's had played 16, 17 years, Aldo Greco, he had a day. Just missed it. It changed the trajectory of the game. When a game's that close, when you know it's going to be that close, you can't afford to miss field goals and get field goals blocked and miss. And
details matter.
Details matter. And so, and that Baltimore went on after they ran to the Super Bowl. They beat the Giants by 30 points. It wasn't even close. And so we would have won that Super Bowl. So it was tough. So anyway, so I'm gone after the year, and Blaine, I go to Cincinnati, and Blaine's there, and he's not going to play. And I call. He's like, all week long we talk back and forth, and he goes, I said, dude, I said, Randall, I said, tell Godfrey don't be coming in there trying to fill the hole. We run the lead. And I said, Blaine, we're running lead. I'm telling you, we're going to run lead. He better be coming. And he said, Lo, Blaine's, Godfrey said he going to come in there. It don't matter. I tell our offensive coordinator, I say, hey, look, I want to run lead. So, I mean, I got some gravitas, and, it's Corey Dillon, myself, and
for those that don't know, maybe the best blocking fullback in the history of the game.
Yeah, but that's who Randall is. Randall Goffrey's a tough dude. And I was like, dude, I told our OC, look, let's run lead. I want to run out. We're going to establish it's going to be a physical game.
Set this tone early.
Set the tone. You set the tone. You know that. You run a good lead, you set the tone. Yeah. Randall came in, and he came out, too. He went, and he ran. And I love it. I get him. I mean, I get him good. And he just goes flying back, and I look at him on the sideline, and Blaine just like shaking his head, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Blaine said he told him not to do it.
Yeah.
So Blaine said Godfrey got up. They got him to the sideline. He sits down next to Blaine, and he's like, hey, man, did that look as bad as it felt? Blaine's like, dog, I told you.
Donald Mitchell, I knocked out that game.
Oh, my gosh.
D. Mitch, kickoff turn. He's on kickoff. He's running down. I freaking hit him, knock him out, and I know he's down. So he gets up staggering. I walk him over to the side. Like, he's my boy, though.
Yeah,
he's my boy.
Yeah.
But you got it. You know.
You gotta let him alone, though. Yeah. Walk him over there, though.
What would you do if you see him staggering? When you walk your boy?
Hey, man, y'all come get my partner, man. He needs some help, man.
No, I walked him over.
D. Mitch.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Love those rivalries.
Lorenzo Neal, Believe Sports Network. You do a lot with the Chargers, 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. So what's going on with the Chargers? I'm surprised that Justin Herbert hasn't won a playoff game yet.
Yeah, and this was one they could have won.
Yeah.
But the Texans played bad. And then the Texans, end up getting it corrected.
Chargers couldn't separate in the first half.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, spot on.
Yeah.
But I think that when you look at Will Dissly, dropped a crucial play on third down. They had a chance to get, to keep a drive going, to at least lead to some points. The fumbles, the mixed execution. They had a chance to be up like 21-3 maybe in the, 21-0 maybe in the first quarter. And you didn't take advantage and capitalize on, in the playoffs, and you let Houston stick around. And Houston's got a good defense, so they can get after you. And in the running game, so I look for the Chargers, and Harbaugh done a phenomenal job. They only win 5 games before he gets there. In the year he gets there, now they win 11.
Yeah.
The turnaround that he has, and this wasn't with his guys. You got to realize Eckler's no longer in the building. You got to realize the best receiver went to the Chicago Bears. When you think about who's
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen could be a Hall of Fame type of receiver, and not that McConkey didn't do great, which he did, but now if you have Keenan and McConkey, and now if you have the running back was so inconsistent for the Chargers. So I think what Harbaugh did, he almost overachieved, and now the bar is going to be set. But you give this guy a tight end, let them get a running back, and continue to build in the trenches. You already got 2 great tackles. You got to figure out something that guard center to be more solid in the middle because that's what you got to do. And I think this team is poised. It can compete with Kansas City. Herbert is a good quarterback, a great, one of the elite quarterbacks. Can his game get improved? Yeah, but he went several games without throwing interceptions. Playoffs, didn't have a good game, and just like I saw you get lucky and make a shot right there,
5 for 5.
Sometimes you get lucky and that happens.
Lorenzo Neal with us on 3HL.
Now this is the fullback position.
Yes.
Are you thinking the fullback position will come back, or did tight ends steal away the thunder from fullbacks?
I think you'll see some. It depends on the guy.
Yeah.
It's we talked about Will Dissly. I think the tight end position, he'll be a good blocking tight end, but can he run routes and do certain things?
Right.
So it's certain things that you have to make yourself. If it was just about being able to catch and run great routes, he wouldn't be in the league.
Right.
See, I think what gets lost, it's like if it was about just running routes and being a great catching fullback, I wouldn't have played 16 years. So I'm going there to tell you to say that the tight ends it's possible, but it wouldn't be probable if you had the fullback do what you need to do. And that means when I see a linebacker, I create a new line of scrimmage. I'm getting him out of there. I'm separating myself, and that's what happens when you get in there. And it's like, okay, you just and it's a stalemate. Tailback says, "What do I need a fullback for?"
Right.
When they're going to stalemate, now you impede my running game. If you don't create a new line of scrimmage, when I got there and I was playing the game, and Sam Gash and certain guys, Moose Johnson, you watch those guys. We said, bam, I'm moving you out of the way. I'm going to take you. I'm going to put you on your back. I'm going to move you out of the way. I'm going to create a lane. So that's what the fullback position. So I don't know if it's gone. Right. I look at certain guys, and it's technique. Look at Juszczyk, what he does for the Niners. He's good at coming in, getting guys down, cutting the outside leg, getting the seam, doing those certain things. So I don't think it's gone. I think you got to have a commitment by fullbacks to make sure that they can be dominant and play physical.
Gotcha.
But I'm glad the running back's back, by the way. This year has been big.
That was huge.
How incredible is that? Saquon Barkley season.
Oh, my God.
Derrick Henry.
If you have – the only thing is it's crazy. If Baltimore doesn't fumble the ball as much and turn over the ball, I think you would have had both these running backs would have been in the Super Bowl, would have been number 1 and number 2 rushing teams in the Super Bowl. And what would that have been? Wish Kansas City wasn't here, but they're here, and they're tough out. It's watching this Philadelphia Eagles team play, the way that Nick Fangio has this defense playing, and the way that Saquon's running the ball, they're tough out.
Yeah.
This team, you watch the Avengers, when they're all together, they're pretty tough, but they're going against Thanos because who has the rings.
Man.
That's Mahomes.
Well,
Lorenzo Neal.
A lot of people say, okay, stack the box, stop Saquon, and see what happens, right?
Yeah,
it's not that easy.
Exactly. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Everyone's tried it, but Saquon's been pretty incredible. They got this offensive line that the Philadelphia has. This offensive line can get after you, and it's going to be interesting because AJ, I think he's a pretty good receiver too.
We live in the matrix, she always says. You mentioned sports science earlier. John Brinkus, who did sports science, just walked by you.
Oh, wow.
He just walked by you.
We
during
should talk
the
to him about
conversation.
the Music City Miracle Sports Science episode.
Low Daddy, good to see you, man.
good to see
Where
you
can
guys.
people find the podcast again?
Yeah, just go to the Believe Network and check it out, and then go to LorenzoNeal.com. You can go to Lorenzo Neal and follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all those other things, Snapface and everything else. Belichick. There we go.
You look like you could still go, man.
Oh, I'm still staying pretty in the face and slim in the waist. Don't hate, big fella. I see you looking over here, baby.
I love it, man.
Oh,
Give me hope, baby. Give me hope.
There is Lorenzo Neal, 3HL 1045 The Zone.